For anyone that stuck around, thank you. We just had some technical problems and needed some time to kind of set up this stream because last one had issues with the restreaming software and things like that. But we should be fine now. Stream title does need to be changed. I don't think I have the perms to do that. So if anyone around who's watching has like editing permissions for Hollow Knight community, could you please do that? Something similar. If not, I can ping in Discord and we can get that sorted. Yeah, so we have any percent race between Slow and Lyliya. I am B, and this is Dolphin. Yeah, this is Dolphin. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say. Do you have anything to say?
Well, I think it'll be a fun race.
Oh yeah, PB times. That's something that.
Yes. I was just pulling that up right now. I know that Lyliya has a 37:43.
Okay.
And then I think Slow has 34:05. So a little bit of a difference, but I'm sure it'll still be a great race.
Especially when you look at kind of anything, you know, we'll see how it goes because I know Slow's quite good, but I don't know much about Lyliya. We'll see. Consistency is always a thing with kind of any kind of runner, but you'll find that like consistency changes as you change your kind of PB time and what people are kind of good at. In that regard, like you'll find that as you get like faster times, the things you are more consistent on are the kind of bigger things, and you'll find that the variance is different. But things still can go wrong, obviously. This Hollow Knight after all. So we'll start off with everyone's favorite part of the run, which is no one's favorite part of the run. And that's yes.
Hopefully everything goes well.
Hopefully we don't get any bully. Oh, there we go. Slow getting the bully. Benchfly bully. That loses like, I think about half a second to optimal. More, maybe more. Both of them getting bullied. It's the fastest task pattern, I'm pretty sure, but that's because task does some wizardry. If you're doing right side, it's always slower to have it on the left hand side.
Well, at least things fast. As long as you make it through, it's generally not too bad.
Yeah, they should be both about mid 52s.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them mid 52, so pretty standard. Actually pretty good. Apart from the Benchfly, nothing really went wrong for either of them, which is very nice. And we do some hops.
That's the best part of the run.
Give me.
We see Slow entering Forgotten Crossroads and Lyliya right behind. And let's see if they get the drops. Seems pretty good for both of them.
Yeah, everything seems to be going okay. We'll see how Aspid Arena goes. Just going in. Oh, misses the spike. But it's fine. Slow is not like me. Slow actually knows the backups.
Yep, that was a good recovery.
So doesn't lose a massive amount of time. Only loses like a couple of seconds there.
And the spike just missed
and
there.
Lyliya as well. Like, you know, you miss the spike, but sometimes you can get, you know, sometimes patterns like that do happen where it's only a couple of seconds slower.
So overall, not that bad.
Yeah. For a race, you're pretty happy at this point. You're like, okay, that happened, but like it didn't go as badly as it could have. And the other thing I find in races is if you make a small mistake, it can almost boost your confidence because you're like, okay, it makes you less nervous because you're like, okay, I messed up, it's fine. We'll just keep going. Slow missing the statue pogo, unfortunately. A little bit of runner cast there, a little bit. And Lyliya with a nice statue poker, very nice. And that's a cringe pattern. I hate that so much. Oh my god. You do not know, like that happens like once in a blue moon. I think I've had it to happen to me like probably 4 times total. But when you have the exact layout of husks, it's so miserable. I still don't know how to do it ultimately, but someone who's better than me can probably tell me. But it's so hard to squeeze past the first one, and then the second one jumps, so it's just annoying. Slow hesitating a bit, but getting a very nice pattern. Lyliya not being quite as lucky. Yeah, unfortunately. But both runners on pretty even paces here. I think Lyliya started either a bit earlier or their loads are a little bit longer, so we'll see a bit of desync, but that's just low desync. The timers are pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah, it looks about the same.
I'll just keep track of the mound entry. 28.86.
Yeah, so pretty good vengeful spirit there.
Yeah, that turnaround was... And, oh yeah, so about a second between them.
So fairly close.
Slow with about a 36. Oh, 37. And then Lyliya with 38, yes.
Alright, now time for Ancestral Mounds.
Which...
It's actually a pretty fun room. At least
I
for
like
me.
the room, yeah. If like there was a way to make it so you always had first bit, it would actually be a very nice room.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably the best that low percent, like, kind of movement is. You know, like the kind of like low, no dash kind of thing. It's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Those up slashes can be literally impossible if your FPS is too high, which is an interesting one. You can greed the 2 fireballs that Slow just did. You can greed those really hard. Obviously not good to do in a race, but like it's quite funny.
How many spits was that for Slow?
Absurd angles. Yeah. So third spit, not great. Second spit on Lyliya, I think that was.
So not great overall for either, but not terrible.
So Slow collected a few hits of soul before leaving, because both of them got the boulder spit out after the boulder died. I prefer what Lyliya did personally. You get 1 hit on it and you just keep walking, because in 1-2-2-1 it doesn't really like matter, because you only need a few hits in this room and you can go overkill.
Yeah.
For example, Slow has more soul than he needs. Obviously that makes it more comfortable. If you mess up the fireball skip, you can do a second one. If you don't mess it up, you can not have to kill the birds. It's not all bad, but you know, there is just preferences and little optimization. But obviously in a run, in a race run, it can be better to just do a safe option. So Slow landing the fireball skip. Lyliya, just missing it. So that was just done a little bit too early.
Yeah.
I think was the main thing. The turnaround was good. The jump was pretty good. I think it was just too early on the fireball.
Fireball skips are very easy to just miss one little thing and then you just lose the whole skip.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's pure muscle memory, and you know you need to constantly keep training it to get it to work.
See Slow gain the Moss Charger right there. Getting a little bit of extra soul. Going in for the next fireball skip. Oh, misses it first time. Okay, gets it second try. Now let's see if Lyliya gets it. Ooh. Misses the turnaround. Alright, there we go. So both runners get second try, so not too bad. Overall, pretty good. slow going into the Moss Knight. Does not get the jump back there. So it does have to use every fireball, but there's plenty of soul in this next room.
So there's one pattern where it's really difficult to get soul when you don't have full, but here is the perfect one where you can do 2 down slashes like that, and then you'll find on soul. But there are some patterns that where you do have to like do a turnaround or whatever and slow yourself down a bit. Slow going to Moss Knight's right. So we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, in regards to the fireball skips, Hollow Knight is but good input sometimes, and you can't press them both on the same frame. You should be able, like at the same time, or even it's just annoying. The inputs aren't handled amazingly, but we love the game anyway. Slow with a very nice Moss Knight. And yeah, Lyliya going for the Vengefly King route. I believe Vengefly King route. It's difficult to evaluate the time difference because there are some things you can't do with certain routes, whatever. You can't do rafters very efficiently with Vengefly King, so if you want to do rafters, you kind of have to do Moss Knight's route. Slow getting a very buff on it, like very not very nice. It's kind of hopping around the entire place, which sucks. But we'll see how it goes in the future. Lyliya with a kind of similar pattern. No one's got anything that's too out of the ordinary. Jumpy.
Yeah, they're about the same, like 2 or 3 seconds off, so pretty close still.
So we have an 8-18 quit out from Slow. And we have an 8-17 quit out from Lyliya. So Lyliya's 1 second ahead at this point, but all to play for. There's nothing really bad that's happened to either. Just a few small mistakes from, you know, both players. I don't know how it is.
Now we're going
into... a lead change.
Oh, there has been. But yeah, we're going into Mantis Claw here, which is a pretty good split. Feels nice to do everything right. E-Pogo's the main thing.
You know, every split is obviously, if you do it all right, you feel great.
Yeah, that's true.
If you do it wrong, you feel bad. But this is one where especially it's quite polarizing, because you have some tricks that are just like top level run killers, like low level lose time. You've got a bunch of things where like if you do it optimally, you can save like seconds over doing it unoptimally. It's just there's a lot of punishment for not getting it right, but a lot of reward for getting it right. So it can be quite fun and it can be quite depressing. Whereas there's not a lot of downtime either in the split, which I quite like. You know, something like like Green Path, where you have a lot of walking and not really doing anything in some places, and then really hard tricks in others. It can be quite frustrating to practice.
Yeah, just having dash makes everything so much easier.
Yeah, it makes everything flow a bit better, you know. Even like you know, imagine rooms like the one Lyliya's in right now, where you just kind of, if you didn't have dash, it would be just falling flute time. Slow doing the OG fireball skip right there. Oh, and Lyliya doing the OG too.
Both get first try.
Very nice. I hate that one so much. I am a slam your face into the explosion kind of gal.
Yeah, I just damage tank.
Yeah, so. We Pogo is great. I will always recommend it. Slow, not getting the Mantis to do anything he wants, so ends up just leaving the early control out. Very respectable, honestly. In his situation, I'd probably do the same. You mess up the movement before in the Mantis, and it just takes so long to get you that he probably doesn't lose a massive amount of time by doing that, compared to like if he went for it even after the Mantis did weird movement. And now they are pretty even still. 1 second gained on Lyliya. Slow got a better Mantis Pogo, but also messed up the early control. So loses a second, but other than that, pretty even still. All to play for. Yeah, especially given that the more volatile parts of the ROM are definitely later on.
I think Dream Nail is pretty simple split in terms of how difficult it is. There's only a few major things with it, like the shade skip that can be difficult, and then Dreamplats. But other than that, pretty good.
It's interesting because early game is like the king, or like it's weird because in a lot of games, like speed games, early game is like optimization city, right? Because you play it more. But in Hollow Knight, it truly is the case that a lot of the time save in early game is only the like small optimizations. You get into like watches or whatever, and the bigger things start mattering way more, like boss fights or whatever. But in early game, you really have to go for those small optimizations because that's where you mainly gain the time, right? Like if you practicing THK, you can lose 15 seconds on THK, but you can lose 2 seconds on Grosmother. And the Grosmother mistakes are very like hard to see, whereas in THK you can kind of tell what the mistakes are. Slow's now ahead, I'm pretty sure. Just a bit cleaner of the movement. That's why I was talking about the small optimizations, because Slow has done them a little bit better than Lyliya in this situation, and has gained back some time.
Well, not bad Grosmar for either runner.
And like in Grosmother, for example, the differences between a top level Grosmother and a good Grosmother from a runner who hasn't played as much is like the matter of like a second or two, right? And that's what I mean by like the kind of optimization levels are quite different in different splits. So interesting thing here is that both runners got a pattern where at least Lyliya did got some like awkward patterns with the husks, makes it hard to damage tank them. But in certain situations, like I think definitely Lyliya and Slow, you can take 3 hits before you enter the Sly Hut, and that can be faster if you know what you're doing. Both with a good shade skip as well. Slow opting to not do the walk-in storage, and neither does Lyliya. And you know what? I do not blame them. Is again like the kind of risk-reward aspect of a race, right? In that, there's not much point going for something that you're not very confident on that only saves a couple seconds and loses like 5 if you mess it up.
Generally, just gotta do whatever feels best for you, even if it may be a little bit slower. Better.
All the way, yeah. Lead change again. Slow's now in the lead. Into Blue Lake.
Let's see how Dreamplats go for both players. Hopefully, they go well.
Do both runners pass the test? No, they don't. Left side gang. Slow goes for the Dream Dash. Goes for it. I think there was a little bit of movement mistake there, but I'm not sure what they're comfortable on. Because sometimes you can intentionally do something that's less optimal because you're more comfortable on it. I do it for some Dreamplats too. And you see Lyliya doing it there, where they're just like, okay, I'm just gonna do a few jumps in because I'm nervous and I don't want to mess it up. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. Now
on to
with a nice skip there.
Going into Chandelier here, which overall not anything too bad, but
we'll see what Slow does because Lyliya's probably going to go for just the standard route that we've been doing for years, with just collecting the bottom husks in below Watcher Knights, hitting the lever going up the standard way. But Slow has the option of doing Rafters Skip if he wishes to, because he's gone Moss Knight's route. The reason why Vengefly King route doesn't really do that is because the geo counts are just a bit different. You kind of need a row of husks quite desperately in Vengefly King route, which makes a lot of the time save you get with Moss Knights like, hard to really achieve. In the kind of way where, like, if you still need to farm a row of husks to do it, then you can, like, your route can be messed up and you can actually, like, not save very much time with the Rafters room, just in terms of how the routes go around the whole area. Quite hard to explain without a visual aid, but that's the kind of gist of it. So Slow is choosing not to do it. And you'll probably see like a lot of runners who are either old, like, you know, have been running for longer, I know Slow has, or newer runners kind of go for this route, and because it's a bit easier and there are a lot more guides and things on it. And it also adds another break point in the run to have to do Rafter Skip if you're not comfortable with it. Slow having some annoying movement from G-Husk. I'm still not entirely sure what causes it to do that, but Lyliya with a nice reaction there. So he realized that he wasn't going to double if he nailed Fireball, so he Fireballed immediately instead, which is yeah. Slow here. This is why Moss Knight's route can do the Rafter Skip, is because Slow doesn't need to collect that Geo in that room or in that sphere, which means you can just entirely skip it if you're doing Rafters. But in terms of Lyliya, I don't know where he's going to collect the Geo, because, you know, in the more standard way, we get the Geo that he just skipped in that room. But we'll see what happens. We'll see where he collects the rest of it.
So yeah, it's a bit of trouble in that room, but
oh my god,
the wall just
that's
both fireballs.
So Slow, there is this is a 1-2-1 exclusive jank where the fireball hitbox is whack, and you can have things like that happen where the game just says no, and it's basically because the fireball spawns a certain distance, like it's the distance from the knight that causes those problems. And essentially, the fireball and the breakable ceiling hitbox has just never overlapped at that point because of the jank in the fireball hitbox. So Slow with a couple of hits in this Watcher Knight's fight. Choosing to heal a couple of times, very good idea, given that you're going into both pairs with 2 HP. Patterns aren't too bad. Both are stacked here. It's quite interesting seeing different levels of skill do Watcher Knights, because, you know, you'll see Slow doing it or Gwonky doing it, and you'll see different styles, different ways of approaching things. Some are objectively faster than others, some are more safe than others, some are questionably more fast, but we don't really know, just because there's so much like intersection and RNG in the fight.
It's a little scary.
Lyliya's in a bit of trouble.
Okay.
But
Did
nice
take a
quick
heal there.
Yeah.
And slow finishing Watcher Knights. Very nice.
So you'll see the nerves in places where, like, it's just as safe to jump over the Watchers when they swing, if you're comfortable and you have the muscle memory. But in a race, or if you're not as confident in the fight, it can be really nerve-wracking to do that. And you'll see, like, you know, I do it too sometimes when I'm nervous in races and stuff. You'll, like, hit them.
No.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the fake bounce. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. So that is a bug that happens in this patch. I don't. Does that happen in? Have you ever seen that in non-current patch?
I
think
don't
that's
think
one
so.
one exclusive jank. Basically, I don't know why it happens, but sometimes I think it's with collision with the ceiling or something like that. The Watch Knight just decides to open up as it lands instead of when it does the second bounce, and it has the fortunate side effect of you can hit it earlier. It has the unfortunate side effect of it gets to attack earlier. So the attack timings are different from the bounce. So it opens up quicker. You'll see there like Lyliya wasn't ready for the attack just coming out so fast. The like side slash coming out so fast.
Do you see Lyliya taking the bench now?
Yeah. So you
Just
saw
in
that
case.
they kind of went towards it beforehand, like before they did the first fight. Now probably regretting the decision not to take it immediately, but I respect the confidence to just go, you know what, I'll try for it in the low chance that I don't get through. I'll just take it. So yeah, very unfortunate time loss.
The worst part about Watchers is generally, if you die, it's always going to be at the end.
And Slow, you'll see Slow held the direction before he dashed, like just too early with that Wolfling storage, which meant that he just got sent backwards the other way, which isn't a massive time loss, but it's quite fun. But yeah, it's one of the things that really struggle. Like I came from current patch to 1221 when I was doing 80%. Did like 300 hours of current patch, went on to 1221 80%. I've done that ever since, but that's one of the things that messed me up the most when practicing Watches, was when that would happen, I would just not know what to do with the fake bounce. It's just really hard to deal with if you haven't dealt with it a lot before.
War son, Velmian.
So far, the second attempt is going well, though.
Yeah, only one
You
hit
hit.
so far, 3 Watches dead.
I'll pop Velmi Artred.
Oh, almost. I thought that triple
Helmet
would count,
Delta.
but oh, not again. That's the one that's about to die, it's fine. Okay, so full health going into second pair, which should be fine. And it's always the case, without a doubt, if you keep going after your first Watches, you usually get a better fight.
Yeah, just with every boss fight, after your first death,
Yeah.
it's always like a gold after that.
Away. Very nice.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Good
Hands.
fight. Slow. Oh, almost getting impossible jump. Very sad. Very nice wall jumps as well. That's a really hard jump. Like the wall jump onto the sticking out bit just before then. Though it is one of the jumps that has a visual cue. Impossible jump, the one when you just enter the room with the dash, that one sucks. I hate it. I do not go for it.
Isn't it just timing?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's also just, you know, you need to use Coyote like quite a lot. I just find it quite difficult. So slow moving on, going into Lantern. We do little hops before the dash here because the dash isn't quite enough distance to get between the bench and the rooms, but it's but you go really slowly when you walk, so you jump dash. Whereas when you go back out, you don't jump dash because you can dash 3 times and it lines up.
Now, Slow's entering Crystal Peaks, which, if it goes wrong, it goes terribly wrong. So hopefully, everything goes well.
If it goes right, though. Oh, if it goes right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, God. If it goes right, oh, it would be so good if it goes right immediately. It goes wrong. I'm very sorry. Comms Curse has too much power. What if it does go right? What if, yes, Ollie, what if it does? Yeah, so that's the +305, that's the death. So it's now pretty much out of Lyliya's hands. If Slow does like an unfortunate Umu death or something like that, maybe it could be they could catch up, but it would require Slow to have a similar kind of mistake to catch up at this point. Slow with a very nice one. It's very smooth.
Let's hope that Slow. Oh, Slow
man.
cannot get the best
The
cycle.
cycle might not be right here, so take some improv. There we go. Very well handled. Very well handled. That was all jazz, all improv. Because that cycle is not what you practice.
Lyliya's leaving Lem now. As Slow is about to enter the Crystal Heart Room.
And again, talking of the small optimizations, like not hitting the ground when you do imagery there. That's very nice. Another thing, Slow did like a little bit of a movement mistake there, but now it's a problem. So his initial movement mistake wasn't a big deal, but his movement mistake with the wall jump was a big deal because the cycle activates kind of like there's like a horizontal line at the end of the when you first start wall jumping up on the conveyors in that room where the cycle activates, and if you don't do the movement correctly after that line, it can mess up the cycles. If you do mess up before that, it's fine. Yeah, the laser backup was sick though. Like that's one thing I really respect about Sloran is, Slow, brain, similar starting letters. Sorry. No, I think Slow's been playing for quite a while, and when you play for quite a while, you do end up with a kind of better sense of the kind of backups and stuff. Depends on your style, really. If you're someone who like never resets or whatever, you do end up with a lot of like probably being a better tourney player in general. Exactly, yeah. It's not a room you normally mess up, so it can be. It's very good improv. Slow with the jazz hands.
Now Lyliya's entering or going into Crystal Peaks, so
Yeah.
hopefully that goes well. Slow's
I don't know how
entering
to talk
Fog
about it
Kingdom.
without jinxing it, so I'm just going to say nothing. Oh my god, a clingless drop from Sloran. Giga chat. Oh, and then that bit sucks of that room. There's like a very specific movement that you do, like in Lyliya's room there, where those Vengeflies just attack you with bad RNG on their spawns. And Sloran as well with that room kind of sucks. He has to take a bench. I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't focused on it too much. I keep saying Sloran because I see the first two letters and my brain goes, oh, what's someone who's been around for a long time that I know that starts with SL and it's Sloran or it's Slow, and I mix the two up all the time. I'm so sorry. It's Slow Run, guys.
Oh.
Fine, I'll be an idiot for entertainment. We'll see an Umu here. Will this be one of the Umus of all time, or will this be an amazing Umu? It's very high. I'm worried about this. Like, Umu's position is quite high here. No extra though, that's pretty good. And Slow does a couple of wall jumps down there to lure it downwards, because it's too high, which is very good. And nice first cycle. Let's see how this goes. Oh my god, and also the double green nail before the long attack. Very nice. That's really difficult to get.
Oh, again, an extra
attack here. Extra attack isn't too bad in this position though. He doesn't need to dunk. It should be fine. This position's not bad. Yeah, there we go.
Missing the nail hit.
Oh my god, that's so unfortunate. Yeah, just started the cycle a little bit too far to the left. So when Umu was hit away, couldn't quite get the distance on the nail hit. Let's see Lyliya go into laser cycle as well. Very nice. Gets the correct cycle as well. So this is what it's supposed to look like. It's very rare that it looks different than this. No underplat, fair enough. And slow going in to collect the Umu. We'll see what its time is next.
And then going into Queen's Gardens and Deep Nest. It's
Both players having a very...
definitely,
Oh, sorry.
it's definitely a scary area. It's very easy to take damage in pretty much everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
just as you see, like, it's very rough. The kind of infected Gruthers add a lot of RNG.
yeah.
Both players having a very similar peaks time, though. They were only a second apart.
Lyliya going to the left instead of down right.
It's a little bit more formulaic. You can kind of rely on dashes and like falling off platforms to orient yourself. It's a bit less difficult to learn. It's quite, and it doesn't save a huge amount of time to just go for Trinomi. It's like a second max, I think, to do that strat. I do it personally. I learned Trinomi once and then forgot it, and I do that strat now to like be bothered to learn it. A couple of dunks. Dunk from slow. Okay, nice. Oh.
Oh, okay. Third try QJ, not that bad.
Yeah, one heal has enough soul for it to not really matter too much. If he, you can make a mistake. So you can't make a single mistake in this split if you have 4 health. You have 1 damage tank, and you need, basically before you next quit out, you need 3 damage tanks. This is the other advantage of Moss Knights, which is what slow is doing, so should help, is that the Den quit out is always a possibility. Lyliya unfortunately missing a nail hit, similar to Soren on first cycle, so no 2 cycle for him. I said slow. Slow.
Okay. The second cycle on Umu was good, so as long as nothing awful happens. Okay, yeah, there we go. We do see Slow taking another hit though, so definitely worrying, but
yeah, it's not that. Now that I've mentioned it, I realize that it's not worrying. Slow can just quit out the Den.
yeah.
Moss Knight's route is forgiving in that way. It's not forgiving in others, because obviously if you miss the devout skip, it can be unforgiving. But in this kind of way, it makes the QG part of the run less nerve-wracking. You have a buffer of health that you normally wouldn't have had.
Just taking away some of the difficulty from late game is definitely very nice.
Slow entering the most nerve-wracking part of the run.
We do see Lyliya getting Monomon. Let's hope for a good beast then.
All right. Let's see whether. So here we'll do the quit out. I think probably. I don't know what world Flo would be living on. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So that is the forgiving part. We'll see what Lyliya does. I'm not sure what route they take, because if you have a 37 as your PB, you can realistically still be doing deepest.
Taking the bench for the heal again, so definitely want to be at full health for that.
Oh wow, and they were tied on the Umu split. So so to Monomon, they were the same pace. This is interesting. But yeah, it was quite a fast 3 cycle. So like there are quirks in like how Umu works, but sometimes 3 cycles can be, they're never faster, but they can save like a lot less, like 2 cycles can save less time than you think. Especially if you get faster attacks.
You see Lyliya struggling a bit with the QGA, having to get some more soul to heal. And Slow had...
Yeah, so Lyliya does have some older strats. So when you see older strats, it can be two things. It can be boomer, boomer runners. So like, oh wow, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh.
Well, at least Lyliya got the bench earlier, so it might actually be faster to take that death than get the soul and heal again.
Perhaps, yeah. But yeah, when you see a kind of older strats, older movements, that can be either because they learned from an older guide or because they learned ages ago and haven't bothered to update how they move. It's usually the first one. It's usually that they've learned from older resources and they just haven't realized that there are newer ways to do things sometimes. Which is me sometimes, and then me also sometimes is I can't be bothered to learn this, so I'm just gonna learn.
Yeah, same. Sometimes it's just like
so this is the worst part of QGA, is just getting in your own head about it. And then, yeah.
See another death.
It's really difficult. You've got this, Lyliya, you've got this. Because it's the worst, because you just get so in your own head about it. You just get so worked up, and you need to be calm and have the muscle memory come through exactly for it to work.
There's not too much leniency with it, so even if you're a little bit off, that can be enough.
It is really unforgiving, yeah. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Right.
We see Lyliya entering Queen's Gardens as Slow is going to fight the Hollow Knight. Hopefully both go well.
Yeah. So Lyliya then mentioned that his aim was sub 40 for this race, and I think he is on pace for that. Just about. And so we'll see. We'll see. But I'm rooting for that to happen. Nice Petra Arena. Overall, quite a very good PB.
Okay, Slow got all the chains, so now...
Oh wait, yeah, no. My brain... That would be a nasty game, actually.
Lyliya can definitely get it. Just has to do at least decent. You can get that sub 40.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It'll be quite tight. But...
Okay, so far, THK seems to be doing well.
Slow is on very good pace. I've just mentally realized.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't even think about that. There's a lot of parries though.
He'll probably be. Wait, did you say his PB was 34?
3405. So
Yeah,
not
he'll be
close, but
definitely
good.
20 seconds off his PB if everything goes perfectly, I think, right?
Yes.
No, not that. Maybe that. Oh, okay.
Okay. Flo does get the scream skip.
Should be a high 34 then.
Yeah.
Nothing goes extremely well.
Okay, there we go.
There we go, yeah.
Flo finishing the
That'll
run.
be about a 34. Very nice. GG. GG this one. GG to slow rent. I cannot believe that I kept doing that. I really cannot.
Easy
Also,
mistakes
Lyliya
made.
going to Den as well right now. I don't know what. I don't know what their health is looking like. I was too focused on slow.
Yeah.
Gage, that was intentional, by the way.
Okay,
Come
3
on,
health,
come on.
so
3 health. Okay.
definitely can work with it
3
as
health
long
is
as
like
no more hits. Okay.
Right.
Does opts to take the safe strat
Yeah.
and just dash away. Okay. Now
3
Lyliya
what
has.
you want.
Oh. Well, at least Lyliya did avoid taking damage at the start and is choosing to heal there, so far. Oh. Okay, spiders are being not the best. Does take another hit,
Yep.
but 2 health
Since
isn't
he
terrible.
did the safety strat, he's still okay.
Okay, does heal again.
There we go. Another heal. So this devout will probably be pretty slow, but it's fine because you didn't die. And
Yeah.
that's usually a bigger time loss than not doing a fast devout. You know, in my experience.
Yeah. Let's just hope that the devout is nice. There we go. Okay.
Very nice.
So not terrible beast then. A few hits, but
Mhm.
took the heals needed to survive.
Yeah. And again, sometimes it's just you know, how many times you've been in that situation before kind of deal, right? You know?
Yeah.
Slow has a 34. He's a very good runner. You know, if you have, you know, a higher PB, it usually means you played less. You know, or you're newer to the scene or whatever, and you're less used to having runs get late. You're less used to kind of dealing with the nerves of having later on runs. It can just make things a little bit difficult sometimes.
Yep. Only way to learn how to deal with it is to have it happen, which hopefully happens in practice, but can happen in runs.
Recognizes they need the geo. Very nice. That's a cool backup strat, actually.
I always forget the geos are there.
Yeah,
Just so hidden away. Okay, now
actually, it's quite smart. Actually, if you're not confident in killing middle row, Inspire might actually be a good strat from your run. No.
Right now, just travel into the Hollow Knight, and hopefully it goes well. Yeah, it can get close to sub 40. Maybe not sub 40, but definitely could be a 40 time.
I think Lyliya should be quite proud of this run because if you exclude, you know, the unfortunate watches, you know, thing, there was a lot like that. Like there was quite good play overall from them, and they probably would have PB'd if they got their watches. Like the last fight they had on their watches, if they'd done that the first time, they would probably PB depending on how well the THK goes here. So,
Yeah,
because they lost
definitely a good
3
run.
minutes. They lost 3 minutes to dying Beth. So,
And I'm gonna check again. Lyliya had a. Oh, I lost it. I know it was. Oh, okay. 37-43.
yeah.
So definitely, if there wasn't that Washington Night death, had the potential to PB.
You know, and like obviously you can't just say, oh, if this hadn't happened, they'd have PB'd, you know, because that's
Yeah.
just, you know, it's not what happened. But like, in terms of how they played, I think they should be proud of showing what they've done.
Yeah. And the one nice thing about having runs like these is then you know you have the potential to get that run. So far, the Hollow Knight does seem to be going pretty well.
Yeah, it's not optimal patterns, but it's very nice. There's very few parries. It's definitely serviceable.
Yeah. Ooh, taking a few hits there, but not that bad.
And I'd be interested to. I don't actually know how long Lyliya's been running, but I'd be interested to see. There is potential, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, it found an attack. As long as everything goes
Very nice.
well, does need one more heal, and
And like I don't, I think that was quite a smart move. In
Yeah.
the race setting, very smart move to do that heal, because generally you're fine if you do the kind of bottom left corner of THK in that attack. You'll rarely get hit, but you can get hit. Like there is a small chance that you get hit. It's like a lower density of like spit attack, but you can get hit. And on that like small chance, you could just lose the whole run.
yeah, being safe is pretty much always better in the race setting if there's a chance of death.
And also for confidence as well. If you're safe, if you do a safe play and get the run finished, it's always finishing a run always feels better. So GG to Lyliya. Unfortunate Watcher's death, but other than that, very nice run. Big GGs.
41-35. Pretty good.
So we'll now chat. We'll now send messages to the runners, see if they want to do a post-run discussion, interview, whatever you call it. I hope Slow won't be too mad about me constantly doing the wrong name, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Both of them seem to want to come on, so we'll have them in.
Hello, Slow.
Hello, Slow.
Hello.
And hello,
Well-
Lyliya.
Hey, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
GG slow.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's.
Well-
I had a question to ask, but I've completely blanked.
How did everyone feel about the runs?
I think
Oh,
mine was okay. Like, I'm happy with the 34, but it was pretty sloppy. But, I mean, no deaths is fine, so I'm pretty happy with it.
yeah. Where did you do you have your splits up? Like, I'm wondering where you lost the time compared to PB, because I'm thinking it was. Was it?
I mean,
There's some Mantis Claw stuff?
pretty much everywhere. Yeah, I lost a bit in Claw. I pretty much only saved time in Dreamnail because my Dreamnail and my PB was bad, but yeah, I was just losing a few seconds every split, pretty much.
And yeah, we were saying in comms before you came on that Lyliya, without the Watchers incident, that was a very good showing actually, and quite similar to your PB standard, which was really cool to see. Obviously the unfortunate, like the kind of QGA as well, but there were a couple of choke points, but the rest of it was really good. The Umu was really solid. Almost hitting 2 cycles was kind of crazy. For a runner with a 37 PB, it's kind of nuts. So I wanted to say congrats for that one.
Thank you. It was a very good run, but Watcher's Night was buggy. I've got the weird jump and it threw me off the run.
Oh,
It was really hard. And QGA, I don't know the deepness route, so I need to do QGA to finish the run. So it was quite hard.
Yeah, and sometimes you can get in your in your own head about it, and it requires a lot of calm and a lot of muscle memory, and sometimes you can just get in your own head and just sort of. Oof. But yeah, I'm also impressed that a lot of runners start off with deep nest route because they want to get runs through, but getting in the practice for QGA now and the kind of nerves for it is really valuable. So I really respect that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, one of the questions, that was the question I was going to ask, is how long have you been running, Lyliya?
Maybe 2018, but I play 2 weeks and don't play for 3 months, and I grind 2 weeks and those 3 months. And this tournament was a good thing for me to go back in the game. I saved maybe 3 minutes on my PB for the last 2 weeks. It was good.
Crazy. Yeah. Because I know Slow, you've been running for quite a long time, haven't you? How long is it? Like ages.
I think about 2 years, 2.5 years.
2 years, yeah.
2020.
But yeah, more actively, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Olaf and I were just saying that you have Lyliya, you have a lot of older strats, and kind of things that I remember doing, like kind of from that kind of time period where you first started running, and you obviously learned the route, which was interesting to see. And honestly quite nostalgic, and I wish we hadn't discovered the new stuff because the old stuff was better. Boomer. It's true.
Yeah. Walking storage is not.
Oh, it's
I
just
don't
like
to
small
see it,
0.5 second room movement differences and things like that. All the nerdy stuff that no one except what he really cares about.
I'm an old school runner.
Yeah, it was a very good run. Thank you guys both. I have been coming for a while, so I'm a bit exhausted. So I'm going to dip. If you want to stick around and chat more, whatever, that's completely fine. But thank you very much. It was great to commentate your races. Great to watch. Great showing. Congrats to everyone. Even finishing a run is amazing, as I know because I never finish any. All right. Bye.
Well, overall, seemed like both of you had good runs. Is there anything that you're hoping for with the rest of the tournament?
Just 34s. If I can
34s?
keep getting 34s, that's good enough for me.
Deathless runs for me will be a challenge. But I can do it. I know I can do it.
Well, good luck in both of your future races. Seemed like this one was good. It was definitely a lot of fun to watch. Especially at the start, you were both very close.
Yeah, I was really close in
a
the
second
start.
off.
That was cool.
But yeah, overall, really well.
Cool.
Well, Thank you, everyone, for watching. I think we have another race coming up in like 2 hours, right? Yes, 2 hours, I think.
Awesome.
So, yeah, if anyone wants to watch that, it's between Screw My Shoe and Stratus. But yeah, thank you, everyone, for watching. And hopefully everyone has a great rest of their day, night, whichever one it is for you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for coming, and GG's again.
GG.